Morning everybody, hope you're doing really well. Today I am in a location that isn't actually too far away from me. I'm in Edenbridge, for very good reason, to show you some amazing World War II history. In fact, this has been long overdue. I know about this shelter very, very well from visiting Edenbridge a lot, and I've never had the opportunity to walk in it, so we're hoping that today that can be arranged. I'm working with Edenbridge Council today, so I've had very special permission and access, which I'm really excited about. So without further ado, let's explore Britain's smallest air raid shelter, which was a bomb shelter. Enjoy history on these because they're really interesting and they are so rare these days. Even rarer to actually even step into one. Now normally this one's locked up, so I'm just going to go in it and see how it goes. So come with me, and I'm in a beautiful Edenbridge church, just chilling, hiding from just getting some shade at the moment because it's a very hot day. Anyway, come on, let's go. The Console Shelter was the smallest air raid shelter that existed during World War II, and unlike Anderson shelters and Morrison shelters, the Console Shelter only had room for one person, and that would on most occasions be for the ARP, or Air Raid Precautions Warden, whose main job it would be to try and protect people during air raids day and night, with tasks such as handing out gas masks and sounding the air raid sirens. But it wasn't just used by the ARP. The shelter was also known as a fire watcher's bell due to it also being used to protect fire guards and in other cases local police on duty. It came into production in 1938, having been manufactured at Constructors Limited Nickel Works in Birmingham. It was made from bulletproof steel plate bolted to a concrete base, and would have been designed to protect those inside from bomb blasts, as well as falling debris and flying splinters. On top of the shelter there was an integral lifting eye which allowed the shelter to be easily moved and transported. And the cost of these shelters at the time was around £57, and although that does sound cheap, in modern prices it would be around £4,000. Its dimensions having a diameter of 130 centimetres with a height of 211 centimetres and a weight around 580 kilograms. Either way, these are now extremely rare shelters and they provided a much needed use during World War II, and with a video like this, hopefully they will never be forgotten. Hello everybody, so I've made it and we've kindly had it open for us, and it's amazing really because it's the first time I've ever sort of seen one in real life really. I think in the Imperial War Museum you can see them as well. Obviously there's a lot of background noise, so I do apologise, there's nothing we can do about it. But what I'm going to do in this video is go in there and hopefully you get to see what it was like to be not only just a brief sort of visual idea about being in World War II, but the actual feel of being actually probably quite claustrophobic in there. As you see in there, you'll see that there isn't anything that would have originally been in there, so normally you would have had a bench, etc, etc. But this honestly is so rare and in such good condition under the circumstances that what's better to do than actually go in there and try it out for ourselves. So come on, let's go. Right, so I'm in and the door is being shut for me, and it's very warm actually today, so it's quite fun, but as you can see, there we go. Wow. So there is enough room in here for me, but it is very dark, and you can imagine that you would have just had a normal little torch and something like that. If you look, excuse the echo, that's the handle for obviously shutting it for ourselves, and then you've got a little jolted bolt there. Originally round here there would have been a bench. So magic tap to unleash it. And then all of a sudden the light comes in. But if we have a look, this is literally it. This is as good as it gets. And then if I walk round out here, you can imagine that obviously when the bombs were going off and how well sealed you are in there, it must have been an amazing experience. Obviously not on a summer's day because you probably start baking, but it's brilliant really. So like I said, you can see it now. So this would have been the internal hatch that you can obviously grab. There is a little lock there that would have originally gone down, and then more importantly you've got the loop there which would have given it obviously transportation, that you could have just literally put that through and then just dropped it into place, and it really does just fit one person. It's absolutely amazing. If we can see now as we go in as well, so originally like we said there probably would have been a bench that obviously you could have sat down in. You probably seated might at a squeeze have been able to fit 2 people. Obviously it depends how lucky you were. If the bombs were going straight away, that you would have wanted to get in as soon as possible. But believe it or not, it is a heavy piece of kit and it is very strong and solid, so you would have felt relatively safe, I would have said. So yeah, right, let's conclude. So the one final thing I just wanted to mention, which I'd sort of forgotten about really, which is this is originally where there would have been a plate, and this plate would have looked like this, which actually says on the information board, armoured for service, console portable shelter. So this would have been fixed onto that, just to let everybody know really what that was. You can see also a little seal as well, which would have been interesting. Right, let's conclude. Okay, so that concludes our brief little video on this amazing and really rare console shelter. I just want to say a massive thank you to Edenbridge Council for obviously allowing me access into here. The most important thing actually, which I didn't know and I've obviously just found out, which was originally, I'd always thought that this probably would have been in Edenbridge, but it turns out that it was moved from Haywards Heath. And then what happened was, over time, unfortunately, it sort of seen better days, vandalised, kids obviously doing what kids do, I suppose, trying to tip it over and everything else. At one point it was used for some storage. But the most important thing is now it survives, and obviously it survives in a relatively good condition, that anybody out there who wants to visit can come down to Edenbridge, pop into the museum. It's literally in the courtyard here, and you can see this amazing piece of history. And like I said before, to reiterate how rare these really are, really brings true to how important they were as well. And obviously on the information plaque here as well, it does mention that fire watching, obviously you probably saw that in your history lesson, as well as ARP, and obviously some police sometimes would have used them as well. But it was an amazing experience to actually go inside, and I'm really grateful for it. So yeah, really made my day today. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Thank you as always for watching. Stay safe. Check down the information below to obviously see about the museum, and obviously to see where this is located. So like I said, should you be in this side of Kent, you can come down and visit it and just experience that, like I said, really rare piece of history. So, in the immortal words of Phoenix history, because history matters, stay safe, love and kindness to all of you out there, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care for now. See ya. Bye.